Star Wars smashes box office records in its first weekend, Amazon becomes Mexico's largest online retailer, and Bitcoin's launch on the CME receives a mixed reaction. Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm your host Elliot Bullman. Let's start with today's information. Fans of Star Wars had to wait more than 2 years to see a new chapter of the saga, with the premiere on Friday, December the 15th of The Last Jedi. And judging by the box office, the latest installment is a resounding success, generating more than $450 million worth of global ticket sales on its opening weekend. According to The Hollywood Reporter, The Last Jedi grossed $220 million in its first weekend in the United States alone, the second best performance of all time. It trails behind the 2015 release of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, which opened with a record-breaking $248 million. Star Wars: The Last Jedi is the 8th installment of the 40-year-old space saga and is directed by Rian Johnson, whose credits include Brick and Looper. The film has been widely praised by critics and has a score of 93% on the film review website Rotten Tomatoes. It's estimated that Star Wars: The Last Jedi could generate around $425 million worldwide, with what would be behind The Fate of the Furious in 2017, which reached $542 million, also Star Wars: The Force Awakens, which took $529 million, Jurassic World, which entered $525 million, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 with $438 million. In other news, Amazon could double its sales this year to become the largest internet retailer in Mexico, according to a report by market research firm Euromonitor International. Euromonitor forecasts that Amazon will generate $505.2 million in sales in Mexico in 2017, compared with $243.9 million last year. Internet sales still represent just over 3% of total retail sales in Mexico, where shoppers fear credit card fraud and often pay in cash. In the United States, online purchases account for almost 12% of this market. The Argentine Mercado Libre recorded an increase of almost 90% compared to 2016, according to Euromonitor, but still would have fallen to second place with some $489.2 million in sales. In third place would be Walmart de Mexico with $258.9 million, or a rise close to one-third. The company didn't respond to a request for comments. The firm predicts that the online Mexican market will be worth some $7.1 billion next year to reach $14 billion by 2022. Moving on. Bitcoin has moved another step towards mainstream investing with the start of trading on the huge Chicago Mercantile Exchange financial futures market. The CBOE Bitcoin futures surged nearly 20% on their debut last Monday, and more than 4,000 contracts changed hands by the end of the day. But the CME market is far bigger, and as interest in the digital currency increases, so do the warnings. On Sunday, the chairman of UBS Bank and former Bundesbank head Axel Weber joined the chorus of Bitcoin warnings. Bitcoin is not money, he said in an interview, and urged regulators to intervene. Weber says Bitcoin doesn't fulfill the three main functions of money because, in his view, it's not an effective means of payment, it's not a good measure of value since prices are not written in Bitcoin, and it's not an effective way to store value since it's inherently unstable. Analysts, on the other hand, believe CME's entry into the Bitcoin market will generate more interest in the cryptocurrency, possibly pushing the price even higher. The CBOE futures contract is based on a closing price of Bitcoin from the Gemini exchange, whereas the CME contract price is culled from multiple exchanges, potentially offering investors more transparency about the value. And finally, let's turn to the markets. The Mexican peso decreased 0.17% to 19.04 from 19.07 in the previous trading session. On the other hand, the IPC Mexico increased 1.15% to 48,635 from 48,082 in the previous trading session. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.